Hey, Free Falcon here again. Decided to hop in and we're going to do a little bit of a market analysis on everything since the T15 stuff has hit out. Let's see where everything's sitting and what we can do to manipulate and do the best we can with what we got right now. Alright, so let's start in and we'll just dive right in. Let's start with T15. See, we can buy items at 23.17, so you got a 6 mil profit. So yeah, right now if you have the capabilities of surcharging, you got at least a $10,000 to $15,000 or $10 to $15 million profit there. Going into 14, past there we're at 5, so less of a profit margin here for sure. So we're buying around the same price. We're buying at about the value of 15, going to 14, but not quite the same. But you don't have the spread, so your basic 14s aren't really that great. We're barely over on 13s. So I'll be interested to see. Let's see if we switch over to individual items here, if we can find anything at value. I don't think so. Didn't see any. Let's try these. With the 13s and 14s being dropped from the quest now, I wouldn't be surprised, if we find a handful. I'd probably say there's not going to be an excessive amount of add value or below value 13s, but I think we're going to find a good handful. Bought a couple extra too many. Yeah, there we go. Cool. We did need some more. We needed some more sacrifices here for the XP gods and everything. So yeah, there is actually a pretty good amount. And then let's just try these and see if we get some there as well. Doesn't look like we're going to hit any on that side. But you can see we got actually a pretty decent amount of 13s. Alright, let's go to 12s. We'll just do the basics. So if you are enchanting, the T12s look like they're pretty good. We got some right around the 2 mil. So, and then right around 3 mil. So I think averaging, if you have any sort of surcharge bonus, you're probably breaking even on these. So I might just go ahead and pick up a handful here. We'll do 30. Those. And we'll see how these price up. Maybe we can get about 30 of these under 3 mil. So that'll be about 2.5 mil, I think. Yeah, we're usually getting into a 2.5x multiplier on things, so that's worth it. Now we get into the actual items, and it looks like we are a bit high in most of it. Alright, we'll go down to 11s. Looks like we're slightly over. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hop into the per item type here and see if we get anything good on the 11s. Looks like we're still a little over. I think it might be just 13s at this moment because we're getting a lot of people are getting a lot of extra 13s from running these low level. T15 quest lines here. Still a little high there. Got a few of those. But yeah, it looks like we're all going to be up and over on 10s. We'll dive down into 9s. It looks like we got a handful of 9s here. All right. Yeah, it looks like we're under 2x on the flood elements here. We'll pick up some of these. Just some free XP, pretty much. We'll start diving up. Okay. Now we will dive into, additionally, we'll get into the greens. Let's look at our green 9s. Looks like we're high. Up at the 10s. Just a little over, not much. Let's try the 11s. Yeah, just a little over. 12s. So occasional little dip down, but looks like mostly not enough to really dive down on purpose to try to get a punch. Now let's check the 13s. Oh, I actually didn't mean to buy that. Look there. Got a few 13 greens. Okay, we're looking 3x on those. Let's look here. About 3 mil over. So yeah, I think that's a good ratio. You'll make some money if you dive into, if you're surcharging 14 greens. And then, yeah, not bad on the 15s. So yeah, you'll be making about 10 to 15 mil if you're in the position to be surcharging T15s right now. And then let's check out the blues on the 15s. Yeah, it looks like we're well up and over, which is to be expected because a lot of people are probably using those for. Looks like we're doing pretty good on the blue 14s. Quite a bit below 50 here. Let's take those off. Yeah. So that's probably the biggest change I've noticed is I'm seeing a lot more sub 40 and low 40 blue T14s. So I think right now this could be a bread and butter XP money generator right here. Good thing I didn't buy that last one though. Jumped up to 200 and something pretty quick. And I'm just buying everything out below 45 as a base. And we'll pick up all those. Alright, and now let's hot down to 13s. Not bad. So if you don't have the XP, oh yeah, those below that base value. Look at that. Yeah, if you don't have a lot of the research, I think the 13 blues are still a better income for money. Looks like we're about 50% over. That one's actually 2x almost. So yeah, 12 blues are bad. 11 blues are not too shabby. Yeah, the 11s are a better buy than 12s right now. 10s are quite a bit up and over. And I think it just gets more pronounced the lower we go. 9s, yeah. So not good money value buying these lower tier. And you can see 8s, we only got one selling for gems. which I'd be interested to see if we can throw that back on the market for a gem. Let's check the 7s. Alright, well let's test that out. Let's go over here. Let's put our blues on. Wonder if we can offload that. You can find it. We'll do. Just make it easier. There we go. Just undercut it by 1. That would be a really nice conversion there. I don't think we're gonna get that. So yeah, I think right now the market's pretty well queued up. We're getting some at value or below value 13s if you just keep up on the market. The 14 blues are doing really well. You're getting a lot of low numbers on those. Now it's diving into the components. I think it'll be. Where am I? Let's just trade offers here. Yeah, so I'm curious to see if the ones directly associated with are going at max or not. So let's take a look at these. Yeah, it looks like they're not even on the market, so you could definitely pop these on here. I bet they insta sell. We're really close to it. Yeah, real close to max. Actually, I'm surprised with it not showing. I figured that would have insta sold, but someone had some market request up for it. Yeah, so far, I've unlocked the boss. Such a long recovery time. Like 2 more days for it to pop back out. And I did get a key off of him. I haven't popped anything up off the key. But hopefully by then I will have that done. Up to where I can do like a medium or hard version at least. Yeah, these are the 6 resources that we convert. So I'd say that if you're limited on the amount of missions you can run, will focus on these for the lower ones. So you have the items for conversion or to throw on the market. I'd say that it would go pretty quickly. And I'm curious, yeah, I figure those would sell pretty quick. I was surprised they didn't into the sale. And I am seeing that I've gotten quite a few T15s from the people coming in the shop. Surprisingly, a lot more than I thought there would be. And so far, I still only have my Dino Nuggets unlocked. So I'm grinding those out. I've almost got those mastered. Then I'll move on from there. Oh, we're 1 short. That sucks. Let's see, we gotta craft some familiars. It looks like we have to queue 8 more of those up total. We'll get that one. Let's see, I just grind through, try to get these Blue 14 sold. That's the biggest individual jump in value. I could wait and surcharge out the platinum stuff, but I have so much stuff I'm trying to surcharge out. I'm just throwing it for the money. I'm getting higher up there. I'm at 72%. So I make around 10 to 15% per day with the leveling method I did in my last video. So if you're interested in finding out how to level up the higher levels a little faster, feel free to jump in and check that one out. It's helped me get quite a ways longer. I did a bunch of research into what's the best items to dive into and how much XP and all of that. Though the audio on that was pretty horrible. And T15 is out now, so I think I might go ahead and dive in and do another video on that with updated info on T15. I think it'll be important to know what's better for XP. Should we still be grinding the 14s or moving into the 15s? Alright, I think that's it for our market review for the day. I appreciate you watching. Have a good day.